This is my intro to my little video on the J. Stevens Model 44 rifle. This is an old timer. Guess you'd call it a falling block rifle, but actually this one, the 44, rolls a little. The 44 and a half was quite different. Basically, and this is the same company that built this. This is a centerfire rifle, but the Stevens Crack Shot is the gun that is kind of really popular, and this little falling block was kept in production for many years. These Model 44s and that, I don't know how long these things were around, but interesting old gun, and now we're going to take a closer look at it, so enjoy. We're going to take a look at this kind of neat old gun. This is a J. Stevens Model 44. I believe it may have been called the Ideal Model 44. Now, not to be confused with the 44 and a half. And we'll kind of go over it. This is a really neat old gun. Somebody brought it to me. I had to kind of clean it up for them, find a mainspring, and kind of get it back into where it's working again. As you can see, it's not exactly in mint condition, and I believe it is in a 25-20 caliber. See, there's some wear on the wood there and that. Octagon barrel. And 25-20 was an old version of a Wildcat cartridge. And this is a centerfire gun. So, take a look at it from the other side. You know, front sight is dovetailed in there. Kind of nice heavy octagon barrel. Checkered little forestock. And the rear sight there, we'll take a better look when we get it up on there. But that's the action there. And it has a tang sight on there. A nice crescent style buttstock and butt plate. Now, one way you can tell the difference between a 44 and a 44 and a half, okay, is the shape of the receiver. In a 44, when you drop it down, the block rotates back. Okay, where a 44 and a half, the receiver will be shaped different, and it drops straight down in a groove like a falling block. That's one way of telling the difference between a 44 and a 44 and a half. I'll put it up on a stand and take a look at it from a different angle. Okay, starting on this end. There's our front sight. Kind of a intricate thing. I wonder if that folds down. But there's a close-up of it. And I believe the rear sight was a buckhorn style, pretty basic sight, which that looks a little bit finer. There's your rear sight with the simple little elevation ladder. And the only markings on the gun, try to get them in focus. J. Stevens A&T Company. Something Falls, Massachusetts, USA. April 17th, 94. So that's your, there we go. That's your scroll there. That's your rear. Here's the action, the hammer cocked. And here's the tank, rear tank sight. Kind of folds up down like that. It's pretty rusted and a little on the beat to hell side, but it should, I don't know if there's a spring that should lock like that upwards. Not quite sure. These old guns always had these crescent style butt plates on there, which is pretty neat. Like I said, let me get the camera, change it around here. Alright, so let's go over the basic operation of the gun itself. Okay, basically like a single action, so I think it comes up and that gets it off the firing pin. Probably that's the safe. Let me see if there's a half cock. There isn't. So it's down, fired, it comes back and locks, keeping the pressure off the firing pin, probably as a safe, and then it's cocked. And like I said, the difference with this and the 44.5 is when you operate this, you notice this pivots backwards. It doesn't fall back. There's the firing pin, your ejector. Let's see. Hold on. A little bit better camera angle. You see that kind of rotates up in there. Rotates down. Your ejector, kick out the cartridge. Boom. Now you find a lot of these old guns in the rimfire calibers because they were popular back then. This one here is in center fire, and at 25-20 is just a neck down 32-20. It was a very popular varmint gun, kind of like a, there's a Winchester and there's another one. It was a popular varmint round. Back in the old days. I don't know much about the cartridge. There we go. It's a neat old gun. Like I said, it was brought to me. I cleaned it up a little bit and tried to find some replacement parts and get it working once again for a friend of mine. He likes these real old weapons. There you go. That gives you a better look. You see that comes off that firing pin on there. Old Western style guns. Alright, well that's a look at it. I don't really know much about these firearms. It's not my, the civilian sporting guns. There was a whole assortment of different guns from these companies in different calibers that are all long obsolete. But that's a pretty neat look at one there. And that's the J. Stevens Model 44.